Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the AEW Dynamite post show for Wednesday, February 16th. Tonight on the show, Cody leaves AEW, CM Punk versus MJF in a dog collar match at Revolution, and Thunder Rosa with a big win over Mercedes Martinez in that no DQ match. Let's get Johnny North in here. Let's talk Dynamite. Yes, indeed. There he is. It's Johnny North. What's up, dude?
Not much, Dave. I was very surprised tonight. Usually Dynamite kind of takes a bit of a step back after a good week. They've had 2 good weeks, but this week wasn't a slowdown whatsoever. Another solid episode.
Yeah, another excellent episode of AEW Dynamite. The post-Cody era. Cody is gone. And we are now moving forward with AEW. Kind of crazy news that we will talk about. But, yeah, overall, I thought Dynamite was very good. I don't think we had a single bad match on this card. Bryan Danielson had a very good match with Lee Moriarty. CM Punk opened the show with a good promo with MJF. Bryan Danielson had a good promo with Jon Moxley. Wardlow had a decent match with Max Caster. Hangman's and Adam Cole stuff was good until the end when it got weird. Santana and Ortiz over Jericho and Hager I thought was very good. One of Jericho's better matches in a very long time. This felt like old school Jericho tonight. Great match there. Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez had a great no DQ match. A lot of crazy stuff in that one. And the main event, Sammy Guevara over Darby Allin, was excellent. I think we both enjoyed the show tonight. I am having a hard time saying what was my favorite match of the night. What was your match of the night, John?
I'd have to go to the main event. I mean, besides the finish, I like the match. And the finish is really kind of out of their hands. That's the booking in a sense. But in terms of the match, like bell to bell, like there's a lot of good stuff in that match.
It was good. I don't know. Bryan and Lee Moriarty was really good, too. I might go with the tag match. I thought the tag match was really good. The main event had a lot of kind of interference and stuff. I thought the tag match was a little bit more.
Yeah, but the interference is out of their hands. It's not their fault.
What do you mean? Sammy and Darby? It's not their fault? I'm not saying it's their fault, but I mean, it's just the
interference.
Yeah, I mean, it's not their fault. They didn't book the match, but, you know, it's kind of, it's kind of the overall, you know, package of what we get in the match. And for me, I think I preferred the Jericho match a little bit more, but this one was really good. Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez was really good. Great stuff on Dynamite tonight. And I want to talk about Dynamite, but we should give a shout-out to Antoinette, who just re-upped her membership. Thank you, Antoinette. Thank you to Doug Hepburn, who joins us here, member of the team. Brian Firth, Angelo Contagonis, of course. He likes Max Caster's raps. Yeah, great stuff from Caster. Doug Hepburn said it was a good show. Even when they botched, it still looked good. I agree. I thought it was a very good show, top to bottom. I want to talk about Cody, though, right off the bat. Cody apparently gone from AEW. His contract ran out, and he is leaving. And now he is heavily rumored to be going back to the WWE. I guess money talks, right?
Yeah, well, like he's been talking about this for weeks, that he's a free agent, and he's been wrestling without a contract for a while, and something's going to have to come of that. And it came ahead this past week when they weren't able to come to terms, and he decided to walk away. Like, I don't know about you, but the way I look at this, it's all for the best. Like, if they don't want to give Cody the money, Cody can get money elsewhere. Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Sure. Were you surprised by the news, though? I figured they'd get a deal done and Cody would stay in AEW.
I would think he'd want to stay in AEW because he's not just the wrestler there, right? He's an EVP, but now he's nothing. And now he's just in WWE, he's not going to get that position. So it's kind of surprising. But yeah, that's what he wants to do. I mean, he's probably looking at it in the sense of like right now where it's like he believes he's got a high value and he wants to get that money now because he's probably not going to get the money later.
Mm-hmm.
And he realizes if he's going to go to WWE, now's the time. So
Yeah, but I mean, it's for the money. It's not for the creative, right? And I guess there's a report now from PW Insider saying that one of the main reasons why Cody's leaving is because he lost that creative control. He lost any kind of booking power a few months ago, and Tony Khan is doing everything now. And he didn't like that, so he didn't have much power, apparently, for his character now. And if you think about it, you know, you look at the way Cody's been booked, it's been awkward. It's been a weird booking for Cody, and maybe he's unhappy with the way he's been portrayed. Maybe he figured he'd be a straight-up babyface, and the fans turning on him. Maybe he blames Tony and the booking in AEW. It's possible. I don't know. I'm surprised that he's going to the WWE because, you know, it's the place where he was Stardust. He was a mid-carder at very most over there. Of course, he'll come into the WWE as a higher mid-carder, maybe even a main eventer, but he's not the guy to beat Roman Reigns. You know, he's not the guy to be the main guy in WWE. He'll be a guy. He'll make lots of money, probably more than what AEW is offering, and that seems to be the crux of this deal. However, I don't know how compelling of a character he'll be in the WWE in 6 months or even 3 months. Right? I think Cody right off the bat will be cool, unless the first promo is just awful and then you just lose interest, which is possible. Stardust coming back, you know, like, I don't know. I think you'd lose interest in that. But I feel like Cody in the WWE is going to be a non-entity within 3 to 6 months. He'll come in, there'll be fanfare, there'll be a build. Eventually he'll lose to one of their guys, and then he'll be back down to whatever. Mid-card at best. And that's, you know, I think a fair estimate, John. I don't think that even the biggest Cody fans and the most optimistic with this WWE deal think that Cody's going to come in and be the guy to beat Roman and Seth and all these guys. Like, he'll beat Brock Lesnar in a pay-per-view, you know? It's not happening. They're not going to do that with Cody.
no, but I expect they'll treat him like better than they did before. Like everyone says, oh, he's just gonna be Stardust again. I think it'll be better than that. Like I think they see that he's a bigger star than when he was there before, without question. He'll definitely have a better spot in WWE. Will he be the main guy? More than likely not. But it's not like he was the main guy in AEW. I think he kind of was at one point.
Mm-hmm.
But now, with new people coming in, I feel like CM Punk kind of took his spot. The show used to revolve around Cody. Now it kind of revolves around CM Punk.
Yeah.
So, like, I think he just realized that, you know, there's no more room for him anymore.
I feel like there was always room for Cody. He was always an important member of that team. Whenever he came out, he had good matches. He had good promos. He was an important part of the show. He was treated with respect. Brandy was doing this stuff. Whatever happened to Brandy and Paige Van Zandt? I guess that's just scrapped, right? Like, what was that? That's even a bigger mystery now. Everybody's saying it, right? Like, what the hell were those Dan Lambert and Brandy Rhodes promos if it leads to Brandy leaving the company and having no match with Paige Van Zandt or anything? What happened? Obviously, AEW thought that they were sticking around because they booked Brandy in an angle that didn't have a conclusion.
Well, now they can push the fact that Paige, like, knocked her out of AEW. They can run with that if they want, possibly. And just have her, you know, suddenly, oh, she's going to wrestle Red Velvet instead of the pay-per-view. We've been down this road before where it's just not going to be Brandy instead now. So that's not a big problem when you think about it. But when you look at who's left and all this, and the ramifications of this, it feels like Brandy really got the raw end of this because she's not going to be a WWE superstar again, I don't think.
Right. The word is she's not even going to go to WWE with Cody.
So she loses huge on this.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well,
maybe
her big thing was like, I'm going to be a wrestler again. I'm going to be a champion. Like, that's her big thing. Well, that's dead.
Yeah, that's not a thing anymore. I don't think it was really a thing in AEW. I mean, I don't think anybody believed in Brandy as a wrestler. No one really wanted
But they
to see
gave
her
her
wrestle.
chances.
Yeah, not many matches, though. She didn't do that much.
I saw at least 3.
Yeah. But she was never like a main member of the women's division, right? Like you say 3. Okay, how many Britt Baker or Thunder Rosa matches have you seen, right? Tons. So it's
Right,
different.
of course. Well, but she still got a big spot every time she was on television. Like, it was always a big deal.
Yeah, no, of course. And those promos with Dan Lambert recently, the thing with Paige Van Zandt, it makes you wonder now, like, what happened? They had something planned and now not. And Cody leaving AEW does make you wonder about AEW. Is this a sinking ship? Is Cody the first to jump because he realizes, okay, this was good, but it's only working for so many people. We're barely breaking 1 million viewers at most. Maybe it's time to cut and run and make as much money as possible now. Cash in now while there's still value in being an AEW wrestler. Because in maybe a year or 2 from now, like maybe Cody knows the booking plans long term and he's like, this is not going to be good in a year. And he decided to leave. I don't know. But one of the founding members of a company leaving 2 years after it starts to go to the competition, to go back to the place where he was like firmly against, he was breaking the throne, he was saying how AEW is the revolution and the future of wrestling and WWE is the past and all this shit. Now he's going back for the money? Like, okay, I get it. They must be paying him a shitload, and great. But does he know something we don't about AEW? The fact that he's jumping now, it's like, oh, why? The fact that he's the first AEW guy, like an AEW TV star that's been on AEW TV and in real matches, to go to WWE, that is a statement. Like, people thought maybe MJF would be the guy or some other guy on the roster, maybe Hangman when the time comes. But for Cody, one of the founders of the company, to jump ship and be the first guy to go from AEW back to WWE, makes you wonder. Makes you worry a little bit about AEW. I don't know. Doesn't seem good.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't really worry too much about it. Like, Cody, it's just one of those situations where they just couldn't come to terms on the money. That was it, really. And or whatever else he wanted it to be a booker. Like, I don't know about you, but I think it's kind of nonsense that the wrestler also has to be a booker as well.
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit of garbage, to be honest. So I'm kind of glad if he didn't sign, because I think that's stupid if a wrestler's going to be the booker as well.
Yeah, I don't think it ever works.
It's not good.
No, it never works. It never, ever works. You got to have somebody telling the wrestlers what to do. The wrestlers can't be telling you what they're going to do, because that's not how wrestling works. But Cody's
just
gone.
Because his dad did it, but it didn't work for his dad too, so maybe don't repeat the same mistakes.
No. Do you think Cody is for sure headed to WWE, and will he be there by Mania? You got to figure he would.
I would think so, because they need stuff for Mania. Like, it feels like they're really trying to build up matches. I'm not saying Cody's replacing Shane, but I think he's, helping build up that card, because it's 2 nights and it's a lot to put on.
You think he wrestles at Mania, like he returns to WWE before Mania and sets up a match?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
You can have a match with somebody. There's enough guys on the roster, you can definitely have a match.
Who?
Wow. I mean, obviously Kevin Owens is one right away you think of.
Why?
Even though they're rumoring him in another match. Well, they're friends.
So, if the story makes no sense. Cody Rhodes comes back to WWE to wrestle Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens and Stone Cold is the rumor now. I don't know. Could be.
Well,
but
you've
me,
heard different rumors too, though.
Yeah, Stone Cold and Goldberg possibly they're working towards, which would be horrible. Please no. Please no. To me, the biggest match you could possibly do at Mania, which I don't know if it's possible because of Triple H's health, would be, the Game and Cody. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah.
No. But ideally, like, if he is healthy enough to work a match, it would be him, right?
Well, I mean, you have AJ Styles as well. AJ's always good for a match, but it seems like they want to do AJ versus Edge. Right? That's what AJ wants to do, so
I guess. I'm talking
nothing
about
wrong with that.
story-wise. A match that makes sense, you know? Cody broke the throne, comes back to Mania to wrestle Triple H, you know? Triple H comes back after the Hart thing, wrestles a return match, and everybody thinks he's never going to wrestle again. He comes back, and he beats the AEW guy at WrestleMania. Right? That'd be a good one.
It would make sense.
Yeah, it would. Cody will lose his first match right off the bat in WWE to Triple H at WrestleMania. Seems about right.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
Oh, they're going to do it now. It's going to be great. I can't wait. I hope Triple H is all right. And he beats up Cody at Mania. Stupid-ass Cody taking the money. Fucking sellout. Fucking guy. Ugh.
Wow, I mean, if it's obviously millions more than likely, so I mean,
sure,
it's not a stupid thing to say no to millions.
I guess not, but like, what's life gonna be like for you now, Cody? How is life gonna be for you compared to what your life and was in AEW? And I don't know. Does he want to go back to that? Does he want to go to
Probably
Saudi Arabia to do pay-per-views and shit? Like, does he want to do all that? I don't know. Does he want to be a mid-carder who's wearing face paint and a total joke? Does he want to be that again? He's got a lot of ego, this guy. And WWE will kill that ego dead. Oh, you got ego? How you like losing to Roman Reigns 3 pay-per-views in a row? Enjoy that. Getting 0-over and getting your ass beat 3 times in a row. Because that's what's going to happen to you, Cody Rhodes. And they won't even be big pay-per-views. It'll be like, Crown Jewel or something. Not even. Backlash.
WrestleMania Backlash now.
Oh, yeah, well, they try to make it seem more important by saying WrestleMania. Anyways, I think it's a fine move if Cody's getting paid, whatever. But as far as the Cody Rhodes character, I think it's a bad move for that. I think for him as a man, I think for him as a guy, it seems like the best move because he took the offer. But for him as a character, I think it's going to be the shits because the WWE is terrible. I mean, their booking is awful. WWE wishes they could do a show as good as Dynamite was tonight.
But the WWE style, it suits Cody better in a sense. Like Cody, he could do the high risk moves and all that, but I find the way he talks and the way he usually wrestles a match, it's more WWE style.
That's what made him stand out in AEW. That's what made him a star. Because he, was different. But in WWE, he's just a small Randy. He's just a small version of Randy Orton. Who's just not as good.
Well, there's
Randy
a match
Orton.
for you.
Yeah, great. Fucking bring Ted DiBiase back.
Concern.
What a joke.
My big concern for Cody though is his tattoo though.
Why?
Well, WWE is very big on your look, and the fact that he's got that tattoo on his neck, I just can't believe we're gonna have commentating not make fun of him all the time for that.
Have you seen Corey Graves?
Yeah, that's true. But still, I'm sure they'll make fun of Cody.
He's a goof with neck tattoos. What's he going to say? He probably thinks it's cool. I don't give a shit about Cody in WWE. I think he's going to be awful, honestly. I never really gave a shit about Cody in WWE. Cody only became interesting when he left WWE. He was the shits in WWE. Nobody cared about him.
True.
He was garbage.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. He had his best years in AEW. There's no question about that.
Yeah. And Ring of Honor and New Japan. And as soon as he left WWE, it's like, oh, shit, Cody's somebody now. Hey, Cody, ask Matt Cardona what's better. Your buddy Matt Cardona. How's he doing outside of WWE? He's the fucking NWA World Champion. He's doing pretty well. He's doing pretty well outside of WWE. And he was Zack Ryder, a total jabroni in there. Good luck to you, Cody. Fucking goof.
Yeah, but if you look back at guys like Christian, who went to TNA, was kind of like a low mid carder in WWE, came back, became a main eventer. That could happen again for Cody. They've shown that guys come back after a decent run somewhere else. They usually treat them well.
I mean, when they come in for a bit, do you remember Matt Hardy? Do you remember how over Matt Hardy was before he came into WWE? And then when he came into WWE, he was like over for a bit, and then they just fucking ruined him. And then they just
Put
left
over
him
Edge.
a husk of a man. What? To put over who?
Put over Edge. Like Edge became a bigger star off Matt Hardy. That made Edge was the whole Matt Hardy thing.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about broken Matt. Recent Matt.
Oh, the broken thing.
Yeah.
The other time Matt came back, yes.
And he got ruined. The broken Matt character was the most over thing in professional wrestling. They came out at WrestleMania, the Hardy Boys, to the most gigantic pop of their career. And it was downhill right after the first fucking appearance. Downhill till the bottom, where Matt Hardy was just... Where it got to the point where Matt just was like fucking a joke. He left, went to AEW. He's a husk of his former self still. Needs to reunite with his brother to kind of get shit going again. And his brother, I mean, he stuck around for a while and then decided, I'm just going to bail mid-match here and walk out. They thought he was high. They drug tested him. He wasn't high. He was just fed up. Fucking joke. Do you remember how they ruined Matt Hardy? Sure, off the bat, they got a huge pop. They were a big mystery team. It was great. They won the tag titles or some shit. And then, and that's what's going to happen to Cody. Because that's what WWE does. Oh, you were successful somewhere else. Cool. Let me fucking ruin you. They hire you to bury you. They pay you, but Cody's going to get buried. And if he fucking thinks he's not, he's delusional. That's WWE. It's what they do. What the fuck? How dumb is he? I don't understand. Like, the neck tattoo was like, oh, maybe Cody's an idiot. But now it's like, geez, they must be paying him big money and, whatever, but fuck. What was the difference in millions between AEW and WWE? How many more millions is WWE giving you? How many? Is it one? Because it's not worth it if it's one. If it's two or three, I mean, I guess, I don't know. Shit. I wonder what the difference in money is between the two offers. Because you're going to be on the road a hell of a lot more. You just had a little baby girl, Cody. Good luck fucking seeing her now. Jeez. I don't know. This move just surprised me and made me think, fucking money, I guess, eh? Is he hard up for cash? Like, what's going on? God damn.
Well,
like AEW wasn't giving him peanuts. You know what I mean? He's getting paid. And you would think the lifestyle was good. He's going to WWE. He's going to get fucking buried. Eaten alive. He'll be Stardust in 6 months. I'm telling you, man. This guy's getting jobbed out.
Well, I think he'll get something at first. Like, it shows with everybody. Like Matt Hardy, like Christian. They get something. And then eventually it goes downhill. So, that's going to happen, though, more than likely. But he'll get something at first. And he'll still make his money. And I think a lot of this just comes down to ego. It's just Cody thought he was worth a certain value. AEW couldn't match it, so he's like, well, I'll get that value somewhere else.
Yeah. And I think he'll be back in AEW one day.
Yeah, more than likely. Like, this is probably going to last 2-3 years, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And they'll probably come back.
I assume this is a short-term deal. I don't know why. But I assume that whatever deal he signs with WWE won't be more than 2 or 3 years because he will go back to AEW. This is just part of the character. You would think. I don't know. But it's going to be real life, man. Well, maybe
the Brandy thing kind of throws it off.
Well, if they both go to WWE, like, it's tough, with a baby. It's tough to do. I know Becky and Seth have a bus, and they just kind of travel with their kid.
Well, Cody already has a bus, so that's fine, I guess.
There you go. I don't know. Maybe WWE's just not that interested in Brandy. And Brandy can't go back to AEW now, so she's stuck. Who knows? I'd say AEW should bring Brandy back just so they can finish off that thing with Paige Van Zandt. Let Paige Van Zandt just beat the shit out of Brandy and then send her packing. Oh, Brandy, let's just wrap up the career here. Do one more match. It'll be fine. Paige Van Zandt, she can't hurt you. She'll be all right. That's what
They'll
they
more than likely just do the replacement like they did last time.
But old school wrestling, that's what they would try to do. Try to get Brandy in for one more match so they could beat the shit out of her on the way out. Right? Territory days, back in the 70s or whatever, that's what they'd be doing to people. And it'd be funny.
Well, again, they can just play it off where it's like, well, she beat her up enough in that brawl that she doesn't want any more. You know, they can just do that.
I guess. Did they mention Cody and him not being there at all on the show tonight?
They mentioned Cody quite a bit during the show, but not him not being there. Just that he's had this match, he's done this match.
Yeah. I heard them mention him, but no one addressed the fact that he's not there. I thought CM Punk might do it. He opens the show with a promo. You'd think he would say something about the fucking elephant in the room, but not a single person on this TV show said a thing about Cody, which is strange. No one.
Well, I feel like with Punk, like he'll say stuff like if he is interested in it, but I don't know if he really cares about the whole Cody thing. So maybe he just didn't really want to talk about it because he didn't care.
I think Hangman should have addressed it. As the world champion, as the leader of the company, I think he should have talked about it.
Something. Yeah, sure. But, oh well, if they don't want to, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Hangman maybe should have said something about it. I guess they're not going to talk about it, but I mean, everybody else is talking about it. Everybody's watching the show and saying, you know, what's the deal? Right?
Yeah, but I mean, what do you do? It's just like, oh, he's gone? Well, that's it. I mean, there's not much you can do with it off that. I mean, maybe you can have Arn Anderson come out, say something. That's about it.
Is Arn done now? What happens to Arn? I don't know.
No, he's still got his kid there, so Arn's still got something to do.
Oh, okay. I don't know. We got a call. I think we have Angelo on the line. Should we go to Angelo?
That's cool.
Yeah, you could call, by the way. If you want to call in, all the members are able to call in and talk to us and let us know their thoughts on Dynamite tonight. If you are a member, don't forget to sign up. Doug is a member. Angelo is a member. Go to join.ringsidereport.net to become a member. What's up, Angelo?
What's going on?
What's up, man?
Not much, you guys?
You know, talking about Dynamite over here.
Well, all you've been talking about is Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Big news. I'm surprised that he decided to go that route.
Yeah, me too. What are you doing? You hitting something there? What's that sound?
Nothing.
All right. What? All right. I don't want to know. Yeah, I'm surprised too. Are you disappointed?
Not really, no.
No?
No.
Okay. So you don't care. You're surprised, but, you know, it doesn't affect you either way.
No, I still enjoy the show even without him on it.
Yeah, I'm not going to miss him. Are you interested to see what he does in WWE?
I'd be curious to see what he does.
Yeah. But I think you probably agree with me, right? He's not going to be the guy. He's not going to be one of the top guys in WWE, and I think eventually he's going to get buried by the company because that's what they do.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
Yeah. All right, Angelo, what else is on your mind, man? What else is going on?
Nothing much. Just wanted to comment mainly on the main event. That was a great match.
Yeah.
I just didn't really like the finish of it.
No?
With interference from
Andrade there. Yeah. Sammy Guevara beating Darby Allin with the pinfall after the go to hell and some help from Andrade to retain the TNT title tonight. The match was great. Sammy dumping Darby off the top buckle to the outside. That move was crazy. You know, when Sammy had Darby up on his shoulders on the top buckle and then he dropped him down and Darby bumped to the outside. The senton that Sammy hit while Darby was draped over the top rope. The senton that Sammy hit that just hit pure apron because Darby moved out of the way. I mean, Sammy and Darby put their bodies on the line here tonight. It was a very good match. It's Johnny's match of the night, and it would have been my match of the night had the finish been a little different. I agree with you, Angelo. I didn't love the finish there. I thought, when Jose comes out to stop Darby, I'm like, who the hell is that guy in the suit? And they're like, that's Jose. And I'm like, oh, I guess he's Andrade's guy. I don't know. And then Andrade shows up, or Sting fights off Jose, and then Andrade shows up and he hits Darby with a tablet to the face. And I guess the ref was distracted by Sting and Jose, but wasn't clear where the ref was at that point. It was just a lot of weird stuff going on at that point. And then Sammy decided, well, Darby's hurt, so I'm just going to finish the match, and he hits his finisher. I didn't love it. I thought the match was really, really good up until that point, but all the stuff with Andrade and Jose, and Andrade wants to buy Darby to be a member of his team, but he also wants to be the TNT champion, and he says he's going to be the next TNT champion, so that's why he had to stop Darby from winning, even though he is feuding with Darby, but also seems to be feuding with Sammy. Who's Andrade feuding with? John, who's he feuding with?
Well, I guess he's somewhat feuding with Darby. They're just not wrestling each other right now. He wants Darby to team with him. It's very much like, Danielson and Moxley. I want you to team, but they'll probably end up going to have to fight each other instead.
Yeah. So, but what about Sammy?
Well, he's just in the way because he's the champion.
But shouldn't he not be in the way? Shouldn't he be the goal? Like, Andrade seems to be focusing on Darby in his hunt for the TNT title, but Darby's not the TNT champion. So why is Andrade so concerned with Darby? And what is the situation with him buying Darby Allin to become part of his squad of men?
He thinks he can do it.
Uh-huh.
It's not working, clearly.
Yeah, but okay. I don't know. I just don't understand who Andrade's feuding with. And a heel feuding with two babyfaces is kind of weird because the two babyfaces should just take advantage and beat him up if it ever comes down to a match. Unless Andrade has to beat Darby to earn a title shot at Sammy. But why? Why don't we just do Andrade and Sammy? Why is Darby here? Darby's in the way. This whole Darby thing with Andrade, it's not adding up to anything. It's been going on for a while, and nothing's really happened out of it.
Well, I think what's probably going to happen, Andrade's probably going to get the title shot against Sammy. I'm going to guess the pay-per-view, more than likely.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe he'll beat Darby in order to get that title shot. I'm not sure, but wait and see. There's still a couple weeks before March 6th, so.
Yeah, we do have a while before March 6th. Angelo, are you looking forward to that Revolution pay-per-view? Adam Cole against Hangman seems to be the title match, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I do have a question. How would you have booked the ending to the main event tonight?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd say, Sammy has to retain, right? So I would have booked it a little bit cleaner. I don't know if Sammy can't just beat Darby. Why can't Sammy just win? Sammy can't hit his finish. I would have made it more clear that the referee was distracted by Sting and Jose because Jose was on the apron and Sting was right there and didn't really seem to have time to distract the ref. Like, why was the ref's back turned when Andrade smacked Darby in the face with the tablet? I think the ref placement was off, and that hurt the finish. Because it wasn't clear camera-wise where the ref was. I don't know, John. What do you think?
Well, I think it just would be better not to use interference. If you want to have all that craziness happen, have it happen after the match. But I think they really wanted to protect Darby, though. I think that was a big thing with them. It was like they wanted to show that Darby was going to win the title.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be something going forward where maybe Darby is going to beat Sammy. It just wasn't the time.
I would have added Matt Hardy into the mix, quite frankly. I think if you're going to do that distraction finish with interference from Andrade, I would have had, once Jose hits the ring, he jumps on the apron, Sting runs him off. The referee shouldn't really be distracted with Jose anymore because Sting is taking care of that problem. but the referee was looking over. I think at that point, Matt Hardy should run down because he showed up after the match anyways. Matt Hardy runs down. He jumps on the apron. Andrade shows up from behind, then smacks Darby. I think it would have been better if you saw clearly Matt Hardy on the apron and the referee talking to Matt Hardy while Andrade was hitting Darby in the head with that foreign object, because it didn't seem like the ref was really distracted or should have been distracted by anything at that point. So I would have added Matt Hardy into the finish. If you're going to do that type of finish, why not throw Matt Hardy in there? Because after Sammy beat Darby, Matt Hardy shows up and starts attacking Darby, and Sammy jumped in to run him off. Matt Hardy barely did anything. Like, why not involve him in the finish? Why involve him just in the post-match to throw a couple punches at Darby? Right?
I just felt it was messy. That's the problem with that. Like,
Yeah.
But again, they wanted to protect Darby, so I think that was really important. I guess we'll see how that plays out next couple of weeks.
I'm saying
protect Darby from what though?
Well, just protect Darby as far as not losing clean to Sammy. Keep him strong. Right?
And yeah, if it was like it was just a straight up match, Darby was going to win, was what they were, I think, trying to say, kind of thing. And there's a more likely chance that Darby's going to be the champion again.
Yeah, I think so. Angelo, thanks for calling, man. Call us again soon.
No problem. Take care, guys.
There he is, Angelo Contagonis, a loyal member of the team. You just saw Rob Kloos renewed his membership, and if you are a member of the team, you are a YouTube member, you can call us like Angelo did to ask us questions live on the show. You could be part of the show if you are a member of the team. You could be part of the show, so it's pretty good. It's a good deal.
That's cool.
Yeah. I didn't love the finish to that match, but I thought the match was fantastic. Sting walking down Matt Hardy after the match. Andrade holding up the TNT title belt after hitting Sammy with the tablet. Sting
He
gets
has it now.
Did he take the belts?
Yeah, I think they walked away with the belts as the show ended.
Oh. Sting got in the ring and made them leave, but I guess he couldn't retrieve Sammy's belts. I'm not clear on what the story is because there's too many people involved. Like, is Andrade feuding with Sammy? Is Andrade feuding with Darby? Is he feuding with both of them? How does Matt Hardy play into this? How does Sting play into this? There's just like a lot of moving pieces, and it's a little confused.
You know, it might be a three-way possibly at the pay-per-view. You, Darby, Sammy, Andrade for the title. See that?
But a two babyface three-way match is never great.
Yeah, but Darby's amazing, man. Like, just having him in any match, like, they kind of showed tonight. It's two baby faces, but Darby's so good, it really doesn't matter.
He's one of the best guys in AEW. He's incredible.
You can't go wrong with him. Like, he always has good matches.
Right. It never goes wrong. It's always just great stuff. Almost as good as Bryan Danielson. You know? Bryan doesn't have to do the things to his body that Darby does. Bryan could just go out there and have an amazing professional wrestling match. And this was pretty close to being my match of the night. This was fantastic stuff. Beating up Lee Moriarty, finishing him off with a technical submission, choking him out with the triangle choke after kicking Moriarty's head in. Moriarty was out from the kicks. Bryan just wrapped up that triangle and flexed on him, Nate Diaz style, and the referee called for the bell. Bryan looking like a teacher toying with a student in this match. Excellent story told, perfect for what this match needed to be. Beautiful wrestling. You cannot go wrong with this. This was, a perfect match. Once again, from Bryan Danielson. Perfect.
Oh, with Bryan, there was no problem with this match. It's just you could kind of tell who was the veteran, who was the student in this match. It wasn't like they were going back and forth. Lee was clearly, a couple steps behind. His shots weren't as impactful as Bryan's were. And you could tell at one moment where, it seemed like they got lost a little bit. Bryan had to kind of put them back on track.
Yeah.
So...
Because Bryan is, way up here and Moriarty is a jabroni. I mean, That's how the match should be, right?
Well, it just went to show that, you saw a veteran guy and he helped a younger wrestler like get through a match. That's what it really kind of seemed like to me. And that's fine, but it just like it seemed like it was a learning curve for him. And I think there's a lot that he did well, but there's a lot that he's got to improve on.
Mm-hmm. But that's kind of playing into what Bryan is doing in the promo after the crowd. Bryan trying to make a new faction with Jon Moxley to bring up some of the younger talent in AEW. He says he wants an answer about that faction from Jon Moxley. Moxley comes out and cuts an excellent promo talking about how he used to be a lot like Lee Moriarty, young and broke and hungry. And he took a shot at taking down the American Dragon. And he talks about an indie match that they had years ago where Bryan showed up and beat him. And Moxley says that getting a taste of the best made him want some more. And he had more chances over the years against Bryan Danielson, but was never able to beat him. He says he wanted to wrestle Bryan when he came in to AEW, but then thought about the group and the offer and how powerful they could be. And he couldn't really think of a reason to say no. And the crowd chanted yes. The crowd wants this. They want Bryan and Mox to be together. Mox then wonders if Bryan wants to side with him because he doesn't want to go up against him. Moxley says he's not going to say yes, but he's not saying no either, and he won't stand side by side with anybody until they bleed with them, until he bleeds with them first, and then leaves. So I guess we're setting up Moxley versus Bryan Danielson at the pay-per-view, and then after that, they'll have a group, which is kind of cool. I like that. I like Moxley's promo. I got it. It made sense to me. There's precedent for him saying that with Eddie Kingston and their feud and then their tag team after that. So, saying I will fight you and then maybe we'll team up afterwards. I thought that was great. And Moxley saying, like, I want to beat you. I've never beaten you. And talking about being a young wrestler and looking up to the great American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, And now throughout the years, he's never been able to quite reach that mountaintop and beat him. And he kind of wants that still, but also appreciates Bryan's offer and respects Bryan. And I thought the promo was great. From Moxley, Bryan, reacted really well to it. Beautiful stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah, the promo was really good. I like Moxley's story. It just feels like, it's the match that kind of needs to happen because it was supposed to happen before. Now they're probably going to deliver on it. And it kind of feels like Moxley kind of has to win this match, the way he's talking about it.
I don't think he does. I think he can lose and go on as a guy in the faction who's, the number 2 to Bryan. As he should be, because it's Bryan Danielson, the best wrestler in the world today. One of the greatest of all time.
Well, it's definitely the second most interesting match so far for the pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah.
Possibly, if it happens.
CM Punk and MJF, dog collar match. I missed the first couple minutes of the CM Punk promo because my PVR didn't record it because it wasn't on the normal TSN channel. It was on like a different channel.
TSN3.
Yeah. So I tuned in at 8:05, and I'm like, oh, shit, it's not recording. And then I saw CM Punk. Did he say anything that I missed, John? Anything good?
Well, just that he talked about the whole, MJF mentioning Piper, and he wants to be like Piper, and that's what kind of brought up the whole dog collar thing. Yeah.
Yes. With Greg the Hammer, right?
Yeah.
That was fucking great.
They mentioned they've had one dog collar match before in AEW history.
Yes, Brody Lee and Cody Rhodes. They mentioned Cody there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doug Hepburn says, it's safe to say there will be blood with Danielson versus Mox. I think this pay-per-view is going to be real bloody. I mean, Moxley's talking about spilling blood with Bryan Danielson, so I think you kind of set that up. Hangman seems to get color every match he has, and if you're not going to bleed in a dog collar match, you shouldn't bleed at all on the pay-per-view. So there should be a lot of blood on this thing. Dog collar match should be a bloody affair. If you've never seen the Piper Valentine dog collar match, or even going back, it was Patterson and Slaughter, right?
I believe so.
They had a classic, too. Go back and watch those matches, brother. You want to see some classic dog collar matches. The Piper Valentine match holds up to this day. I think Piper lost hearing in his ear, like, permanently after that match, didn't he? Was that Piper, or was it Valentine? One of them. I think it was Piper.
I don't know if it was forever, but he did, in that match, lose hearing, yeah.
Yeah, as a shoot. Like, not a joke. He was bleeding from his ear. It was crazy. That match was seriously intense. And Punk knows this. You know, when he invokes Piper's name and talks about a dog collar match, he's talking about that dog collar match. And he knows how fucking intense that got. And MJF sold it great because he looked just scared. He's like, fuck. He comes out and he's like, and he doesn't say anything, and then he just leaves. Looks just distraught. That was really good. And Punk showing the picture of MJF with CM Punk, you know, and CM Punk saying, you know, it was a young MJF, like a kid, you know, and Punk was a grown adult wrestler, and MJF came to meet him. And Punk says, you know, here, this was just an average Thursday for me, but this was the best day of your life. And on Revolution, it's going to be the worst day of your life, and it's just going to be another Sunday for me. I thought that was good stuff from Punk. Punk was wearing an MJF t-shirt. Why was he wearing MJF's t-shirt? Did he address that? Did I miss that?
No, I didn't address that.
Oh, it's kind of weird. But anyways, good promo from Punk from what I saw, and I'm hyped for the dog collar match. That's pretty good.
I guess maybe in the sense that he's like, oh, people are trying to be like me. They try to like do a promo like me. They sit like me. So maybe that's it. He was just doing the whole like, you're gonna copycat me, I'm gonna copycat you.
But MJF doesn't wear his own t-shirts. Ever.
No, but MJF stole his like taunt thing, the way he sat on him, you know.
Mm-hmm. All right. Dog collar match should be great at Revolution. MJF and Punk, these two guys can do no wrong as far as I'm concerned. Everything they do is great. No complaints.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna have a rematch, I mean, make it a stipulation match and make it a stipulation that's interesting. They did all that, and everything's been right so far. So yeah, I'm fine with this. I mean, it's the match that I'm most looking forward to on the pay-per-view for sure.
Yeah. That CM Punk match. Bryan and Moxley, I think, is going to be fun too. But CM Punk MJF just has a little bit more build behind it. And I think the stipulation makes it more fun too. Jungle Boys and Christian are interviewed backstage by Tony Schiavone. And apparently there's a tag team battle royal next week. And then the week after, there's a casino battle royal. And then the winners of both battle royals will face the Jungle Experience for the tag team titles at Revolution, I think.
Express.
Whatever. Who cares what they're called? The Jurassic Express. They're not the Jungle Express, right? The Jungle Cruise.
No, they're not.
Whatever. Lucha Boy and Jungle Saurus are going to defend their tag team titles in a three-way, and Lucha Boy likes three-ways, he said, right?
They're just trying to be funny.
Yeah, it wasn't funny. And the only thing that's funny about this is that they're doing 2 tag team battle royals in back-to-back weeks for a shot at the Jungle Boys at the goddamn pay-per-view. What the hell is this? This was, I mean, at least they didn't spend a lot of time on this, but just announcing that next week there's going to be a tag team battle royal, and then the week after there'll be a tag team battle royal, and the winners of each battle royals will face the guys for the belts at the oh, what the fuck? What? That was like, talk about some convoluted fucking booking. And now we got to sit through 2 tag team battle royals in back-to-back weeks. Why? What wrestling company ever in the history of wrestling has booked 2 tag team battle royals in back-to-back weeks? It's the strangest thing I'd ever heard of. Like, what the hell? Because it's got to be a 3-way at the pay-per-view. Why? Why couldn't it just be one-on-one? Why couldn't you just have 1 tag team battle royal and the winner of that match gets the champions of the pay-per-view? Why would you add a second battle royal? What's the point of this?
Well, you know why you did that promo with the Bucks? Like, that makes sense now.
Yeah, because they need to find a way for it to be Fish and O'Reilly and the Bucks at the pay-per-view, right?
Right.
Fucking stupid. So why not just do it in one battle royal? Be like, it's going to be a 3-way at the pay-per-view, and the final 2 teams in the battle royal get to be in the match.
I'd agree with that. Yeah, I'd rather that, but for some reason they want to do 2 weeks of this.
Because if they're going to do what you're saying, they're going to do like Fish and O'Reilly win a battle royal next week, and then the week after, the Bucks have to win. And we'll be sitting through that second battle royal like, gee, I wonder what's going to happen here. Dumb. I hope they don't win. I hope it's not Fish and O'Reilly and the Bucks. Because honestly, they'll probably put the Jungle Boys over these guys, and it'll be ridiculous. Because they should never.
Well, I think you could imagine what would happen in that match. Is looks like one of the teams is going to win, the other team will cost them, and then
they'll cost
Jungle
each other
Boy
the match.
with the roll up.
Yeah. Awful. They did a backstage promo, the Bucks of Youth, and Kyle Fish and Bobby O'Reilly and Adam Cole. And the Bucks say they're not there. They weren't there to beat up Hangman because it's like beating a dead horse at this point, so they didn't want to go and join them because they beat up Hangman earlier in the show. And then the 2 teams argued about who's winning the Battle Royal next week. So they set that up quite nicely. What else happened on this show? Hangman's interviewed in the ring by Tony Schiavone. Okay? Adam Cole interrupts him immediately and says, "Get out of my ring, Tony." And which got boos, which was funny. And talks about Hangman's wins over Kenny and Bryan and Archer last week and how impressed he is with Hangman. And Cole says that, he himself has been a world champion everywhere he's gone, and it's too bad that he's going to have to end Hangman's AEW title reign. Hangman says it must be weird for Cole to have watched his friends start a wrestling revolution without him, and how it must also feel weird to see the AEW title belt sitting on his shoulder, knowing that it's the only title belt, the world title belt, that he'll never hold. Cole talks about Hangman being a bad friend to the Bucks and the Dark Order. Hangman says he's made some mistakes, but it'll be a bigger mistake if Cole steps in the ring with him. Cole says they're going to meet one day, and may the best man win, and they go and they shake hands. Cole leaves the ring. Fish and O'Reilly attack Hangman from behind. Cole jumps into the ring. You think maybe he's going to tell them to stop, but he doesn't. He puts the boots to Hangman. Security then comes out, and this was fine. I thought the promo was good. Everything was good up until security, right? First of all, don't blame the Dark Order. This isn't their fault. This is how this segment was booked. Whoever produced this segment, what the fuck? First of all, since when is there security? CM Punk got beat up 5-on-1, no security. Here, security. Because he's the world champ? I mean, what?
Yeah.
Where did the security force come from? And, in the promo, Cole's like, you're a bad friend to the Dark Order. And then after security comes out and kind of stops the beatdown on Hangman, right? Like, security was doing their job, pretty much. They started getting beat up by the Undisputed Era guys, but the Undisputed Era guys had focused their attention on the security guys and stopped beating up Hangman. So they were doing what they were supposed to do. Dark Order shows up for no apparent reason, and the Undisputed Era guys then take their cue to leave the ring. 10 of the Dark Order starts getting the security guys running at him one after another and taking them out one by one until there's one guy left in the ring. He gives the rest of the jobber security squad time to get to the right side of the ring before hitting the last jobber security guy and throwing him over the top rope onto the pile of guys, because it can't be an AEW show without one guy being thrown onto a pile of men who are just waiting there for no reason. This was so bad. 10 coming out and just hitting them one after another like he's in an action movie. Like these guys were the foot soldiers and Ninja Turtles. One after another, like they come in individually, like, oh, it's my turn to get beat up now. They were terrible. Every security guy was awful. Awful. And 10 looked terrible. What a terrible end to a good segment. Fish, O'Reilly, attack Hangman. Cole shows up, backs in the ring, puts the boots to him. They leave Hangman down. Cole grabs the belt, holds it over him, throws it down on Hangman, leaves the ring. Bada bing, bada boom. You set up your goddamn pay-per-view match. Security and the Dark Order come out, everything just goes to shit. Why? Why do they have to do that? They're good. It's like everything's good. Everything's perfect. Wrap up. Nope. Here's a job squad security and the Dark Order. Here's 10. 10's got to get over because we're going to do a match with 10 and Fish or something at some point. So, hey, let's set up 10 now.
I think Adam Cole.
Whatever. It's dumb, right? How bad was that?
But I think you've kind of figured this out where it's like they needed to put over 10 because he's going to have a match with Adam Cole. So this was the way they got him over, I guess. I don't agree with doing it like this because it looked kind of sloppy, but this is their idea of doing it.
It looked terrible. It looked awful. God, I love the Dark Order too. I like Johnny Hungy and Uno and Grayson and all those guys. 10 is not my favorite. Brian Firth dropping a super chat. He says, "Go Canada, go! Going for gold in women's hockey." Do they win gold, or they're playing for gold now?
They're playing right now, yeah.
Good for them. I hope they win. Canada versus USA? Is that the game? Doug Hepburn mentioned it too. Huh. Okay. I am completely unaware of the Olympics. I haven't watched a single event or anything. I don't watch Winter Olympics because there's no sport in there that I care about. I'm not interested. I watch Summer Olympics for the freestyle wrestling, for judo, and sometimes I like to see people run fast. No, baseball in the Olympics is a joke. Who cares? I don't watch baseball in the Olympics. I watch for the wrestling. It's really for the freestyle wrestling. Like, I was watching Gable Steveson doing his Olympic run.
You win gold.
Yeah, I watch for Steveson. I watch for Burroughs. I watch for guys like that. I watch for Kyle Dake. I watch for the American big-name freestyle wrestlers. That's why I watch. That's pretty much the only Olympics I'll ever watch, and that's because I like wrestling and I like combat sports. So I'm for real about amateur wrestling. I really do like it, especially at the Olympics where it's the highest level. And, hey, nowadays, you get to see future WWE superstars win gold medals, which is kind of cool. Like Gable Steveson, I mean, I knew he was going to be a star, but goddamn, pal. He's really taken off since winning that gold medal. But I knew about him before, John. I was telling you about this guy. And now look at him. Everybody knows his name. So, yeah, I'm not really watching the Winter Olympics. I know Canada wins more things because, winter, Canada, makes sense. But I'm not a hockey fan. I'm not a curling fan. And I'm not really a fan of those skiing when they flip around. I don't really know what that is. John's a big figure skating fan. He likes that, right?
Not big into figure skating, but, hockey's fun.
Yeah, Johnny likes hockey. And I like wrestling. Back to the wrestling. Keith Lee did a backstage promo about the Revolution ladder match that he qualified for and talks about winning the TNT title. I wasn't clear that the Revolution ladder match was for a shot at the TNT title.
Yeah. The MJF's talked about that for a while. Like, this is how he's going to get a title shot.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. There's so many gimmicks now, gimmick matches, I just get confused. Like the Casino ladder match was for a world title shot?
Possibly.
But this ladder match is for a TNT title shot. You see how I'm confused?
Right. No, I get you.
Like the Double or Nothing pay-per-view also has a multi-man ladder match, and isn't it for a title shot? Like a world shot?
The last one they did, yeah. I don't know if they did one the last year, but the year before that they did that. I think so.
Goddamn goofy. And now this ladder match with many men in it is for a mid-card title shot, the TNT title. Why?
Well, they're putting over the TNT title quite a bit. Like, it might be the second title, but it seems like it's very important.
Yeah, and that's fine. It's weird that they have all these multi-man ladder matches that's for different titles. Starting to feel a little TNA-ish. That's all I'm saying. Wardlow beat Max Caster after some power bombs. to qualify for that ladder match. So now Wardlow and Lee have qualified. Pretty good so far. I like the lineup so far. Bowens jumped into the ring after, attacked Wardlow, but he took a powerbomb. Shawn Spears was ringside, didn't help Wardlow. Came into the ring afterwards and kind of celebrated with Wardlow, but they keep building that Shawn Spears-Wardlow deal. But Wardlow, Keith Lee, I guess they're going to have 8 guys or something in this one. Dante Martin is going to wrestle Will Hobbs in another qualifier on Rampage. I really hope Will Hobbs wins. I want this match filled with big, muscular Haas-type guys. I don't want any flippy guys in this match. Not a single flippy guy in this. I want everybody to be big and jacked, and with every guy, I want to wonder, how the hell is he going to climb the ladder? Like, you see Keith Lee and Wardlow, you're like, these aren't really ladder match guys, and they have a chance here of making Will Hobbs the next guy, and no Dante Martin, but they'll probably put Dante Martin because they think, oh, he'll do flips in a ladder match. It'll be fun. But I think it'll be more fun and funny to me if they just put a bunch of big muscle-bound dudes in a ladder match and, see what happens. Roll the dice.
Well, I'd rather have Will Hobbs in this kind of match. He deserves to be in a bigger kind of match, but they're really big on Dante Martin, and I'm sure they're just loving giving him the opportunity to be in a ladder match. So, yeah, they're definitely going to put him in that match.
Yeah. But don't you think it'd be funny if it was just all muscular Hosses in a ladder match? The Haas ladder match.
It'd be interesting. The problem is, unless they got Miro to come back, there's not many guys left.
Archer?
Okay.
I don't know if you could fill 8 because AEW isn't really the land of the Giants, right?
Exactly. Maybe half of it. That's about it.
Yeah. Oh, we got some skating fans. Doug Hepper likes speed skating. Brian Firth likes figure skating. That's speed skating. The figure skating is pretty cool because they could do all sorts of crazy stuff with skates. I can't even skate, I haven't really tried in 20 years, but I can't skate. Last time I checked. So, yeah, it's impressive the way they skate fast and they skate, dancing and shit. It's impressive, I guess, but I'm just not interested. It's not a sport that I'll watch ever throughout the year. So if it's on the, every 4 years, I'm not going to be like, let's watch people skate around. I'm just, whatever. It's cool and all, and hey, good. I'm not knocking anybody who enjoys it. I'm just saying, personally, I don't watch the Olympics because I couldn't give a shit. There's other things that I'm doing. I got enough wrestling to watch and other things to do. Started watching Snowfall. That's pretty good. And that's what I'm doing. I don't really watch any other sports other than MMA and pro wrestling, right? I'm going to be watching the UFC on Saturday. And then I'll be watching the Chamber, too, on Saturday. Big Saturday. Saturdays are huge. Chamber, UFC at night. But I'm not watching the Olympics. But I know it's popular. People like it. Every 4 years, people tune into sports that they would never, ever watch, right? Nobody's watching figure skating normally, but in the Olympics, you might tune in because Canada might win something, and it's more interesting. There's some shit on the line. I get that. I just don't get into it. Mercedes Martinez. Huh? What? You want to defend Olympics?
With AEW, no, I was just going to say with AEW tonight, kind of goes to show you got to watch Cobra Kai because you wouldn't get those references if you didn't watch that show.
Which I don't. I don't. Was that Britt Baker's dad? Was that her dad? Who was that guy? So Mercedes Martinez interviewed backstage with Britt Baker and friends, and Baker tells Martinez, I brought you into AEW to finish Thunder Rosa. You're finally going to beat her tonight. And I'm like, Britt Baker brought in Mercedes Martinez? Is this new? Am I supposed to know that Britt Baker and Mercedes Martinez are associated? Because I don't know if I've ever seen them together. I don't associate them. But tonight, it's like, hey, we're all one big group, and you're going to go beat Thunder Rosa. I'm like, what? Did I miss that? Or
it was established. Yeah, you missed it, yeah. Yeah. You missed the promo on Rampage.
Oh. So there was one promo on Rampage. And now I'm
there may have been a promo on Dynamite too.
I don't know. And Britt's like, oh, I've got the best team and the best and I'm the champion and I've got the best sensei. And then some old guy shows up and he's like, hey, finisher. No mercy. I'm like, what the? Who is this guy? Is this her dad? Who is this old man? He's a sensei? A sensei of what? Botox? Who is this guy? And then I found out he's on that Cobra Kai show that I don't watch, and I don't know. They don't even explain it though. I'm like, who's this old guy all of a sudden? Is he on Britt's team? I'm like, oh, I guess Mercedes is with her, and now she's got an old guy. Did I miss AEW TV last week? Like, what happened? I thought it was Dan Lambert at first. I was like, oh, Dan Lambert's with Britt now? And I was like, oh, that's not Dan Lambert. It's another old white guy. Who's this guy?
Well, later on in the show, they showed him in the crowd.
Yeah.
And they kind of explained it a bit better.
Kind of, but not really. I don't know who this guy was. I know Sabrina the Teenage Witch. She was ringside. I know who she is. Put her in a match. Put her on Britt Baker's team. I don't know no Cobra Kai. I don't watch that. I watched Sabrina the Teenage Witch, though. Everybody did. Fantastic. Had a talking cat on that show. Crazy.
To me, it just kind of goes to show they expect you to know what Cobra Kai is. That's why they didn't really say much.
Yeah, I call myself a fan of combat sports, Karate Kid. Yeah, I know a lot of people. I'm not into Karate Kid. It's a certain era that you had to be like.
It's a show too. It's not
a certain.
combat sport.
Yeah, it's a show about fucking karate. It's not really anything about the UFC or anything. But Freddie and AJ, who do the MMA show with me on Thursday nights, they love the show. They watch it. Do you watch it?
I saw the first season. It's all right.
It doesn't appeal to me. I never saw Karate Kid. Like, it's not my generation. You know, I'm just like, I don't know. I missed it. So when I see this old guy, I'm like, who is that? Is that Chris Jericho's older brother? Didn't he look like Chris Jericho's older brother?
A little bit.
But
I after watching the first season, though, like, they kind of show you, like, what happened in the movie as well, so you don't really need to watch the movies. Like, they're just kind of like flashbacks, what the movie is. Like, the series stands well enough on its own.
I'm really not interested. I know people like it, and it's fine, and I'm sure it's good, even. I may enjoy it, but I'm not going to watch it. I don't think I would enjoy it. Okay. It looks just cheesy. It's cheesy, right?
You know, at some points, but
yeah.
It's mainly entertaining, though. There's some decent action.
Yeah. Like karate scenes?
Of course.
Yeah, I'd rather just watch the UFC, you know? Like, I don't know. Not interested. Santana and Ortiz beat Chris Jericho and Jake Hager tonight. I thought this match was really good, but the finish was weird. Like, Jericho getting hit with that side Russian leg sweep from the second rope. Jericho took their big top rope move, their double team finisher, kicked out at 2.
Mm-hmm.
But what beats him is a discus lariat. Like, Jericho takes everything, and he loses to a clothesline. Santana hits a clothesline on Jericho. Was it a distraction? A bit from
because
Eddie
he
Kingston.
Got hit. Distraction by Kingston, then he got hit by Ortiz on the outside, then the clothesline.
Still. He took a lot.
I'm not going to say, like, yeah. I'm not going to disagree with you, but, I mean, there was more to it than just a clothesline.
Yeah, but it just looked like a clothesline. And then he got pinned. I was a little surprised that was the finish, but I thought the match was really good. Eddie Kingston made his return. Huge pop for Eddie Kingston. I liked his T-shirt. Usually I make fun of Eddie Kingston's wardrobe, but tonight I thought he looked cool, and he was wearing a Jizza Liquid Swords shirt. I'm sure, Johnny, you're very familiar with the Jizza and the album Liquid Swords. Classic hip-hop.
Not at all.
Johnny, what famous rap group is the Jizza a member of?
No idea.
Really? Wow. The RZA, the Jizza, Old Dirty Bastard, Inspector Deck, You God, Ghostface Killer, Raekwon the Chef, and the METHOD Man. No?
Nope.
Killer Bees. Nope. Nothing?
Nope.
You ever hear of the Wu-Tang Clan?
I've heard of it.
Wu.
I don't listen to the music, though.
Tag.
It's not Vanilla Ice.
Classic AJ. No, the Jizza is in Wu-Tang. Jizza the Genius. Yeah. I was going to try and ask you to name a bunch of members of the Wu-Tang Clan, but clearly that's not going to happen. You know who Method Man is?
Yeah.
There you go. Thunder Rosa beats Mercedes Martinez. That match was crazy. The fisherman suplex from Mercedes to Thunder off the apron onto that tilted table that didn't really break. Holy shit. What was the plan there?
Well, it did kind of break. It just didn't break probably where they wanted it to break. Broke on the end.
Why didn't they set it up all the way? Like, to me, if that was set up flat instead of on an angle, it would have broke easily.
But on an angle, it's more interesting because you don't usually see that. So
yeah, you
that
break
was the
your
idea.
neck. Yeah, sure. Hey, let's do something more dangerous. Let's break our necks instead. I mean, they didn't, but holy shit. That was, the brutality of this match really added to it. But at times I was like, is this going to go all right? Thunder kicked Mercedes in the head with a garbage can. Mercedes had a garbage can on her head, and she got a 2 count, but Mercedes grabbing the bottom rope in this no DQ match. They're using all the weapons, and still there's a rope break. What happens if Thunder doesn't break the rope? Does she get disqualified? I don't think so. So why does the count stop? I don't like that, right?
No, it's a mistake on their part.
Yeah. God damn, that German suplex that Thunder took from the top rope. Nasty.
That was picture perfect when you think about it. I mean, like she landed. I mean, it's hard, but that's the best way to land the way she landed.
Yeah. I didn't like the finish here, though. Again, like a lot of these matches I thought were good, but the finish was a little weird. That move that Thunder hit on Mercedes Martinez, like she grabs her, and I know it's supposed to like spike her head, but Thunder just wound up sitting down onto a pile of chairs. It just looked like she dropped onto a pile of chairs, kind of hit her head on it, hit Mercedes' head, but not really, and then pins her. Like, when you're taking most of the bump on a pile of chairs, and then that's the finish of the match, I don't know. What did you think?
I had no problem with it because that's her finish. Like that's what she usually does. So they try to make it into something. Like I just felt like it kind of went there too fast. I felt they could have built to it a bit better than that, but maybe there was a time problem. I don't know. Like they just had to go right to the finish. It just felt like it happened really quick.
Match was very good. They had to do all the stuff
Brutal
afterwards,
match.
though. Yeah, brutal, right? One of the better matches that you'll see here. Great show, man. Like, everything was good on this show, match-wise. Couple issues with finishes and different things, but overall, really good. Britt Baker, Rebel, and Jamie Hayter show up after the match. Britt talks to the old man again, who says finisher. Hayter and Rebel beat up on Thunder. Britt gives Martinez a lead pipe to finish Thunder, but Martinez thinks about it for too long. I think Martinez and Thunder might team up now. Hayter jumps on Martinez, beats her down, while Britt beats down Thunder Rosa. And, maybe Thunder versus Britt will happen at Revolution. This is the match we've been waiting for. Seems like they're headed towards it, right?
Well, it's the match we kind of need to see. Thunder, she can't always be doing these matches where they don't really mean much. She's got to finally get the title match.
Yeah. And you think she's going to win?
Yeah, like I would have it that she'd win. She might lose it back, but I think she should probably win.
Next, we saw a couple examples of pre-tape promos. One from Malachi Black that was the drizzling shits, and one from Jay White that was fantastic. I didn't like that Malachi Black weirdo promo talking about whatever stuff. I thought Jay White was really good. He comes out, he says, I beat Kenny Omega for the IWGP World title. I sent him packing from New Japan. He went to start AEW. You're welcome, AEW, for me helping to create this company, and I'm going to show you what the Switchblade is all about on Friday night because it's still my era, and it'll be Switchblade Jay White versus Trent Beretta coming up on Friday, and I'm hyped for it. I don't know if you like the promo. I mean, probably they're doing it now, right? But I think it'll be great, and I really like the promo from Jay White. I thought it was much better than that Malachi Black promo.
Well, I thought it was fine. I don't know much about Jay White, so I mean, it's kind of cool that he adds to the history of Kenny Omega, but if you're not wrestling Kenny, well, what's the big deal about talking about Kenny?
Well, he's establishing himself as the guy that beat Kenny for the New Japan World title. He's letting you know who he is. I thought
Right.
that was good. You got to let people know who you are. Otherwise, you're just another guy showing up.
It's important, but it felt like it was so focused on Kenny. It's like that means he's going to wrestle Kenny, or he should wrestle Kenny, right?
He should. At some point.
Some point, yeah.
Maybe
You would hope.
even Revolution. Maybe. If Kenny's healthy.
Wait and see. I am glad that Rampage is going to be on at 7 p.m. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm actually going to watch it. Because usually we're doing the show here talking about Rampage while it's going on, but now we get to watch Rampage this Friday night at 7 p.m., right leading into SmackDown at 8. I think that's great. It'll be Dante Martin versus Will Hobbs in a Revolution ladder match qualifier. Serena Deeb will have another one of her Professor challenges. Trent Beretta is going to wrestle Jay White. And Adam Cole will wrestle 10 on Rampage, right? They set that one up tonight. I don't think that'll be very good. Adam Cole and Hangman.
Wow.
It's a world title match that I just don't need to see right now.
Well, I think it's just sad that I don't think they had anything else, unfortunately. So they had no choice in this matter. Like, who else would wrestle for the world title?
Yeah, you're right. I thought maybe Moxley, but Moxley's doing something else right now. So
I thought MJF, but MJF's busy.
Dog collar, baby. Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho will go face-to-face on Dynamite next week. I think they'll wrestle at Revolution. I think that match will be really good, too. I'm looking forward to that. I think it'll be good. I like the build. It's been all right.
Yeah, it's got potential. It's interesting. It feels like Jericho's going to turn heel.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll wait and see how that all pans out.
I just thought everybody in that tag team match looked better than themselves. Looked better than they have looked recently. You know, like Santana and Ortiz look like one of the top tag teams in AEW. Guys that are capable of beating Chris Jericho and Jake Hager. Hager looked like in ridiculous shape. He looked like a monster. When he's towering over Ortiz, he looks scary, legit, everything. Hager looked great tonight. Like, didn't Hager look amazing tonight? And Jericho looked way better than he's looked recently. Physically and in the ring, like his match, when he caught Santana doing the dive, and then he put him down. I think it was Santana, put him down into the walls of Jericho. Like, that was a beautiful counter. That was really nice vintage Chris Jericho. Santana, Ortiz, Jericho, and Hager all looked like an elevated version of themselves tonight. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking to go out there and look great. And they all did. Everybody looked great. Especially Hager, though. Holy shit. Like, he could be a world championship contender. Put Hager in that fucking Big Hoss ladder match, John. He fits the bill.
He fits the bill. He just doesn't wrestle that much. It's kind of like a special occasion if he wrestles. It's the thing. Like, they were kind of talking about he was like doing some MMA training. Maybe he's, again, going to have another fight. So this was kind of like he'll have a match now, but now he's going to disappear for a couple months.
Maybe. He looked like he was in fighting shape. He looked incredible. Like, wow. He looked like the guy that we want to see here in AEW. Like, he looked like a guy that should be in the company. Looked like a star tonight. Except for the AEW logo on his trunks. Don't wear the logo of the company on your gear. Coming out like Tommy Dreamer wearing a WWE t-shirt when he wrestled, you know? That's jobber stuff. Don't do that. It's not good.
But I think that's kind of cool if, like, he actually fights in Bellator and, like, he does that. That's kind of nice.
If he was in Bellator doing it, but if you're in AEW and, like, could you imagine somebody in the WWE with, like, a WWE logo on their shorts? Like Brock Lesnar doing that or Bobby Lashley? It'd look ridiculous.
No, you're right. Yeah, it's true. But,
yeah,
I mean, if he keeps it consistent, I don't have a problem with it.
I guess, but I think it's always jobber stuff when you're wearing the company's logo on your gear when you're wrestling in that company. I always think of Tommy Dreamer wearing like a WWF t-shirt when black WWF shirt and track pants. You're like, oh, Tommy's losing. I mean, he's just like he's producing shit backstage and like, Tommy, go wrestle. He goes out and he loses. Like, it's real jobber shit, and that's kind of what Hager reminded me of. But then he was super big and jacked, unlike Thomas the Dreamer. And there you go. And that was Dynamite tonight. Great show. Great show. House of Black versus Penta and Pac set for Dynamite next week. Again, haven't we had this already? Why is this happening again?
It's happening again because now we're going to get Black Penta now, aren't we?
Oh, he's like a different version of Pentagon?
Something
Great.
happened last week in his promo, so yeah, we're getting different Penta.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I mean, it's still the same guy, and it's basically the same match, but, whatever. Yeah, there you go. Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you to Angelo for giving us a call tonight. Good to hear from Angelo. Thank you, Doug Hepburn, for joining us. Thank you to Brian Firth, you're the Super Chat leader of the night. Hope Canada wins the game tonight, the hockey match that's happening. Thank you, Brian. And I'm trying to see if any other members. Brian, Angelo, Doug checking in with us tonight. Shout out to Rob Cluse and Antoinette re-upping their memberships. Appreciate you. Don't forget to go to join.ringsidereport.net if you want to call into the show. Join.ringsidereport.net or click that join button beneath me here. Oh, Angelo dropping a super chat right at the end of the show to Ty Brian for the super chat lead. And he has a question. When will we see you in the ring next, Johnny?
Oh, that's a great question. I like to say hopefully in the summer. We'll have to wait and see once the restrictions lower here in Quebec. Till that happens, nothing's going to happen, sadly. So
Yeah.
hopefully in the summertime.
Well, the restrictions are lowered, March? A couple weeks. You could go to shows.
Yes and no.
Well, I could go to a packed arena for a WWE show March 6th. Still happening?
Okay, yeah, there's them having shows and then them booking shows. Kind of different thing. Have to wait for that to actually happen. People are going to be slow in terms of coming back to it.
Of booking, you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you will see Johnny in the ring again soon. Doug Hepburn dropping a super chat. Says, thanks again, guys. Good stuff. Thank you, Doug. You're the super chat leader of the night.
He's reaching for something.
I know Doug always likes to see the new stuff here. We got a new Hulk Hogan action figure in the house. Picked this one up today. Look at that. A basic Hulk Hogan. Not something you see every day. Brand new Hogan figure. Hey, like that, Johnny.
I feel like we always see a brand new Hogan figure, to be honest.
We don't.
Like, we do. Like, you got a brand new Hogan buddy, like...
Yeah. Well, you actually don't see them very often. That they have been coming up more recently.
And he's got more.
You are right, though. I mean, I did just get this recently, this Hogan. But it's weird. Like, it's Hogan season all of a sudden. Because for a while there, it was really hard to find Hogan action figures, and now they're putting out new ones. Brett, too. They're putting out all sorts of new Bretts. And I got this big Hogan here. Stuffed Hogan. This is the Elite Hogan they just put out. This is a pretty nice Hogan. Survivor Series Hogan. And this is a new Brett that I got. This is the Brett from the WrestleMania that he worked against Vince. I don't know if you can see he's wearing the shorts.
The shirt.
And the T-shirt.
Yeah.
See, this is Mania Brett.
I guess it was a jersey, yeah.
That was a T-shirt.
Was it a T-shirt? Yeah, it makes sense.
This is the Mania Brett that I just found recently, so... Picking up a lot of cool Brett and Hogan merch, as I always like to do, because, I'm a big Brett and Hogan mark, right? Who's better than Brett and Hogan, brother?
Well, a lot will debate that Ric Flair is, but...
Yeah, well, they're wrong.
Big debate.
Brett and Hogan are the best. Brett, Hogan, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm always looking for that type of stuff. I like to collect Brett, Hogan, and Austin stuff, because to me, they're the three kings of pro wrestling. They're the best ever. All right, John? And you're the best. You're the man. You're the man, Johnny. Thank you, Doug Hepburn. You're the man tonight. You're the super chat leader. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Angelo. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you guys. And Doug wondering if it's comeback time for Hogan because a lot of merch. I don't think so. But, hey, if Stone Cold's making a comeback, why not Hogan? If they're going to do Stone Cold versus Goldberg, maybe the winner gets Terry. Because, hey, it's 1998 again, I guess. I don't know. Bizarre. We will preview the WWE Elimination Chamber coming up Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, myself and Johnny North. We're going to preview the Chamber. It's coming up on Saturday, John. We'll talk about Goldberg versus Roman and the 2 Chamber matches and all that. So that's coming up on Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, right after SmackDown. And I'll be on here on Saturday afternoon, right after the Chamber, with my brother to recap the whole deal. So that'll be fun. And, of course, I'll be here tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, with my main man, AJ and Freddie. Thank you to AJ and Freddie, my good friends. Thank you to Johnny. Thank you to Angelo, dropping a super chat to take the lead. Once again, thank you, Angelo. Great show as always, guys. You killed it tonight. See you tomorrow for MMA. Yes, indeed. I will be back here tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, to talk to you about a Bellator show going down on Saturday and a UFC show going down on Saturday. So some big MMA action coming up this weekend. And I do want to give a shout-out to AJ and send my condolences to AJ and the DeLessio family. If you're a longtime listener of this show, you know about Uncle Benny's Wine. AJ's Uncle Benny unfortunately passed away. So I want to send my condolences from myself and Johnny and Freddie and the whole Ringside Report network to AJ and the DeLessio family and Uncle Benny. Uncle Benny will be missed. I know it was AJ's favorite uncle. He loved him. And we loved Uncle Benny, too. Uncle Benny made the best homemade wine, the best. So you will be missed, Uncle Benny. You were all of our uncles. You know, we loved you, Uncle Benny. So rest in peace to Uncle Benny. We love you, AJ, and the whole DeLessio family. Our thoughts are with you guys. And this show dedicated to the memory of Uncle Benny. We love you, Uncle Benny, and we'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. here on the Ringside Report Network.